These are the new CMF By Nothing Buds 2 Plus and Buds 2 earbuds, and after testing them out for the last couple of weeks, I've got one question. Why bother? Allow me to explain. What's up, internet? I'm Brian McDuff, aka BMac, and welcome to another video. So yes, indeed, today we are going to be reviewing the CMF Buds 2 Plus and the CMF Buds 2 earbuds, two budget-friendlier earbuds offerings from Nothing that promise to deliver a lot of value without breaking the bank. But first things first, I do need to give a huge thank you and a shout out to Nothing for actually sending out a pair of the Buds 2 Plus and Buds 2 for me to be able to check out, use, and enjoy. So Nothing, thank you. I appreciate you. But with that having been said, we've got a lot to get to with these earbuds, so let's start things out by breaking down the design of the Buds 2 Plus and Buds 2 earbuds and what makes them special on the outside and on the inside. These buds and their magnetic flip-top charging cases do feature a matte plastic finish, with the cases themselves also getting that recognizable CMF-style control knob built into the case itself. But do not let these knobs fool you. On the Buds 2 Plus and the Buds 2, these are only decorative knobs. They're not actually functional knobs like they are on the Buds Pro 2. The earbuds themselves are gonna be stem-style earbuds, and they will come with several different sizes of ear tips to choose from to get you a customized and comfortable fit when you're wearing them in your ear. Both the Buds 2 Plus and the Buds 2 are gonna have customizable tap controls built in, which is gonna allow you to control pretty much everything you could ever want to on these babies, right down to even starting a ChatGPT voice conversation when you're using these earbuds with a Nothing smartphone. The Buds 2 Plus are gonna have LCP drivers that are usually stiffer and therefore more precise, which could result in cleaner highs with lower distortion, giving you an overall better sound quality. Whereas the PMI drivers on the Buds 2, on the other hand, are gonna be a little bit more forgiving, making them usually have a warmer overall sound balance that could actually deliver a little bit more punchier bass, but more on sound quality a little bit later on. Other than that, both buds are gonna ship with an IP55 dust and water resistance rating, which is gonna give them protection against sweat, some mist, rain, maybe even a little bit of light rinsing. Now the Buds 2 Plus and the Buds 2 are available in several different colors, those colors being light gray and blue for the Buds 2 Plus, and light green, dark gray, and orange for the Buds 2. But overall, I'm happy with the design of both of these pairs of earbuds. I found them to be comfortable, they fit snugly. I didn't witness any kind of ear fatigue when I was wearing them for long periods of time. Even when I was sweating during workouts, they stayed in my ears pretty nicely, and I really don't have that many complaints as it relates to design. It works, and they're pretty. But now let's take a few minutes to talk about the connectivity features of these CMF buds, because there are a lot of them, and how these buds will fit within your existing audio setup. Both the Buds 2 Plus and the Buds 2 do feature Bluetooth 5.4 with support for the SBC and AAC audio codecs, while the Buds 2 Plus actually also offers support for the high-resolution LDAC audio codec. The Buds 2 are gonna offer Dirac Optio tuning, which for those of you who are not aware, is basically a custom-designed and custom-engineered EQ filter built in that could digitally correct acoustic imperfections commonly found in more budget-friendly pairs of earbuds like the Buds 2, to deliver a more balanced and accurate listening experience, despite their lower price tag and their cheaper materials. The Buds 2 Plus, on the other hand, don't have any Dirac Optio tuning, but they do have a personal sound profile feature that could essentially create a custom EQ profile for you and your own hearing sensitivities based on an in-app audio duo hearing test that you could take. I have tried the personal sound profile feature on both the CMF Buds 2 Plus and the Nothing ears, and I gotta admit, I think it's a heck of a lot better, and I actually prefer it here on the Buds 2 Plus, believe it or not. I'm not a huge fan of the way the hearing test itself is conducted on the Nothing ears. I think it's a lot more straightforward with better results here on the Buds 2 Plus. But another feature that both these buds are providing is gonna be fixed spatial audio. Usually on-earbud spatial audio, in my experience, could be completely hit or miss. I've had it sometimes sound great. I've sometimes had it sound horrible. But in the case of the Buds 2 Plus and the Buds 2, the spatial audio actually sounds pretty darn great. I find myself using it and pretty much keeping it on all the time. I will say it's a little bit better on the Buds 2 Plus. Things sound a little bit more expansive, a little bit more dynamic, more immersive. That's not to say that the Buds 2 have bad spatial audio, it's just a little bit better on the Buds 2 Plus, and overall spatial audio for both of these earbuds Very well executed. I'm a fan. You are also gonna get in-ear detection with autoplay and auto pause, plus Bluetooth multi-point connectivity, giving you the ability to connect these earbuds to 2 different devices at once. Perfect for you multitaskers out there. And there is also a low latency mode that you could toggle on for both of these pairs of earbuds. But hold up. In my testing, the low latency modes of both these earbuds did lower the latency, probably from around 250 milliseconds to around 175 milliseconds. That was with game mode turned on and using them with the CMF Phone 2 Pro. But I'm probably gonna have to do a little bit more digging around in settings and see what's going on, because nothing actually promises that you should be able to get that latency down to around 105 to 110 milliseconds when using low latency mode in game mode on a Nothing device. But of course, if you're wondering how I'm tweaking all these settings and making these adjustments, that is gonna be done with the Nothing X companion app. All that's gonna be done right within a pretty cool and very easy to use app. So if you have these buds, make sure you download that to take full advantage of what these buds are capable of. But with all this talk about audio, we might as well get into it. Let's talk about the sound quality of the Buds 2 Plus and the Buds 2 and how they actually sound when you're listening to them. Let me just start out this category by saying I have spent a lot of time with these earbuds over the last couple of weeks. And the conclusion that I've come to is that these things sound pretty downright impressive for their price. First up, let's talk about the bass. The bass that you're getting on the Buds 2 Plus and the Buds 2 is pretty bonkers considering what you're paying for them. A lot of this probably has to do with the fact that you do have Ultra Bass Technology 2.0 with bass enhancement in both these buds. It's basically a setting that you could turn on and then set from a level 1 to 5, which is really gonna boost up that bass, but give you a lot of perceived impactfulness and rumbly bass and sub bass when you're listening to music. But what's even more impressive is how both these earbuds are actually able to deliver that amount of bass without exhibiting any kind of noticeable compression. Sometimes, especially in lower priced budget friendlier earbuds, you could have a lot of bass, but at the cost of having a more compressed music mix. But I can honestly say that I did not experience that with either pairs of these earbuds here. That despite the fact that neither of them actually offer dual drivers. I was able to hear and even feel the bass while at the same time hearing the detail and the clarity in the mids and the highs. Now I will say things were definitely more expansive, cleaner, and overall just clearer on the Buds 2 Plus, which is to be expected based on everything else we've already talked about, but overall a better than I was expecting experience on both. Now, I wanna be clear here, things definitely can start to sound a little overemphasized and a little over the top based on certain settings that you could set, but I think that's okay. I think that's kind of what these buds are actually designed for. But with that having been said, moving forward, I still would have no hesitation recommending these to anyone with a more modest budget who wanna have pretty punchy, high energy sounding earbuds, which are especially awesome to have during workouts. Now in terms of EQ presets, the Buds 2 Plus are gonna ship with 5 EQ presets to choose from, plus a custom option that's gonna allow you to actually set a 3-band equalizer setting yourself, while the Buds 2 offer 6 EQ presets, plus that same 3-band equalizer option. Along with great sound quality, another feature you want is solid active noise cancellation performance, and these buds in particular both offer ANC, and they got some great things going for them there as well. The Buds 2 Plus are gonna offer 50 decibels of hybrid ANC, while the Buds 2 are gonna be a very slight step down from that, 48 decibels of hybrid ANC, and in my real world testing, those tech specs do back up the ANC performance. It does an absolute great job of canceling out a wide range of frequencies, with a slight emphasis on the lower end, so they're gonna be better for actually canceling out perhaps your engine hums, your train cars, your HVAC noises, anything like that. And both buds do also have an adaptive ANC mode, but if I'm being honest, for me personally, if I'm turning on ANC, I turn it on, leave it on, and I leave it at 100%. I'm never just kind of adjusting the level of ANC. That's just not the way I listen to my music. Now, of course, the opposite of ANC would be transparency mode, and the transparency mode was also pretty solid on these buds. Things did still sound a little muffled. You could tell you had earbuds in, so not the most transparent of transparency modes in a pair of earbuds that I've experienced, but still more than satisfactory and still very helpful to have when you want to be able to hear what's going on around you. But part of what makes ANC and transparency modes in a pair of earbuds possible is going to be the microphone system. And you're actually getting a total of 6 HD microphones with Clear Voice Technology 3.0 and Wind Reduction 2.0 technology in both these buds. With this being what the microphone quality of the CMF Buds 2 Plus sounds like, with this being what the microphone quality of the CMF Buds 2 Plus sounds like with wind blowing directly into my face, with this being what the microphone quality of the CMF Buds 2 sounds like, with this being what the microphone quality of the CMF Buds 2 sounds like with wind blowing directly into my face, hopefully giving you a good idea of what to expect. But we all know everything we're talking about here is only as good as the battery life of these buds. So how long could you actually expect the Buds 2 Plus and the Buds 2 to actually last for? Nothing is promising at least 7.5 hours of ANC listening time, or at least 13.5 hours of non-ANC listening time on both pairs of these earbuds, with the Buds 2 Plus actually getting a slight edge here in the battery life department when not using ANC and when including the charging case. Some pretty solid battery life numbers to be happy about. You also do get a quick charge feature here for both buds. Just a quick 10-minute charge of the buds and their charging case can deliver up to 8.5 hours of non-ANC listening time. And to recharge the charging case itself, that's gonna be done via USB-C. You don't have any kind of wireless charging here in the Buds 2 Plus or the Buds 2, but that's no real surprise. So in case you thought the battery life of the Buds 2 Plus or the Buds 2 was gonna be the category where nothing had to cut some corners, that is not the case. Yet another strong category for both these pairs of earbuds, and that just allows the battery life here to not disappoint. But with all that having been said, here are my final thoughts on the CMF Buds 2 Plus and the Buds 2, and whether or not these earbuds are worth checking out as your next go-to pair of earbuds. At the end of the day, when it comes to the CMF Buds 2 Plus and the Buds 2, I don't even know why you would bother. I don't know why you would even bother looking at another pair of earbuds if you're looking for solid sound quality, impressive ANC performance, and long-lasting battery life in a pair of earbuds that aren't gonna cost you an arm and a leg to afford. I will say that I do think the Buds 2 Plus are well worth their $10 higher price tag, considering the immediate noticeable increase in sound quality that you're gonna hear from them. But that's not to say that the Buds 2 aren't impressive in their own right as well. Both pairs of these earbuds deliver on almost every front, and yet they still only cost a fraction of what other premium earbuds are selling for on the market, which this day and age is nothing short of impressive. As always, for the latest deals, prices, promos, and information for the CMF Buds 2 Plus and the CMF Buds 2, you can of course always head to my affiliate link, bmac.link/CMF Buds 2 Plus, or bmac.link/CMF Buds 2, or of course, as always, there will be clickable links in the video description box and in the comment section below, so check those out. I'm gonna go charge these babies up, have them ready for my workout later. You know, one cool thing, by the way, even though these are decorative knobs here, they're also pretty good for fidgeting with, like a built-in feature there. They double as a fidget toy, I guess, kinda. At least for me. I will see you guys in my next video.